So now we're going to show you how to make a banana split cake from the book. We've already gone ahead and made some banana layers, which is the recipe in the book. And we are going to frost them. So we're going to make our frosting. It's a boiled meringue. The best way to line their pans is with a little bit of parchment, so you don't have to worry about how easily or more difficult they come out of your pan. On your cake plate, it's nice to get 4 little strips of parchment down. So if you see, it's right underneath, whether it's on a cake stand or your own plate. It makes it a really nice, clean, professional finish at the very end. It's a really simple process, and it keeps your plate nice and clean. So in the bowl, we've put a 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, which equates to about 300 grams as well. A little pinch of salt, that helps break down the albumin in the egg white, and then 6 egg whites. And then all you need to do is go over your stove with your whisk, mix it together. So make a nice little, well, there's no good word for it, slop. And we're going to put it on the stove and heat it up, and just constantly stir. You want it on a gentle heat, so you're putting it over a pan of boiling water, and that will take about 5 to 10 minutes to heat up. When you're heating this, it has a really thick consistency when you first start stirring. 2 things: you want to raise it to just above body temperature, so you're cooking the egg, but you don't want to completely cook the egg. So the best way to judge this, there's 2 ways. One is it's going to become really thin. Right now it's really thick and viscous, and it'll become nice and thin like water, so you won't be able to pull it up and have big chunks of it. It'll be thin and runny. The other is, since it's just above body temperature, you can use your own finger and put it in the center. You're at home, nobody will know. And that way you can, when it feels warm to the touch, it's like a nice warm bath, you know you're ready. And you're ready to start whipping. If you underdo it, your meringue's going to be really low in volume and running. So if that happens, you know, okay, next time I need to heat it a little warmer than what I did last time. Now this is heated, and as you see, it's really thin and runny. The temperature's right, so we're going to take it immediately off our heat and put it on our mixer and beat it until it's a frosting. So put it on a high speed and leave it. So you'll hear the sound of your mixer change when you know it's really struggling hard, but then you have a finished meringue. Our cake on the stand, we have our strips down of parchment. We're going to de-dome, or we're going to make a flat surface to work on, which we call de-doming. So you take that little bitty dome that gets created. You don't really need a lot of fancy stuff. You just need a nice serrated knife to cut through. And even if you're using your plate, just put a hand on the center and turn it just so you make a nice, even, flat cut. So put a little down. I have an offset spatula here. This is a large one. I just find it works best for me. I think the most important thing is to make sure you find what works for you. You can use the back of a spoon. You can use the ever helpful, in every kitchen, wooden spoon. You can use a knife. It's just whatever you feel most comfortable with that gets you to work quickly and leaves it looking the way you want. So we're putting on our second layer. We're going to de-dome again. Now you don't necessarily have to use this to fill in between. We are making a banana split, so you can make a chocolate ganache if you want and put that in between the layers and just use this on the outside. This is just emulating our cream that's on top of our banana split. Keep it nice and even and level, just so your cake stands out nice and smooth and doesn't look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's usually what happens. Most people just put the layers one on top of the other, and it's a little crooked that way. Now we're going to put our last layer. This one we won't de-dome. But if you're using a smoother frosting, you can always de-dome it, turn it upside down, and then you'll create a really crisp edge on your cake. But on this case, since it's really a messy looking cake at the end, we're going to leave it just like that. Everybody has their own method for frosting. For me, I tend to like to start with a large amount on top, and I work my way down. So there's your top finished, and now you can just work your way around the sides and you meet up, for me, is how it works best, because I don't like having a lot of frosting around the base, so this helps me keep it all consistent and the right amount of frosting all over. but it's just that simple. There you go. So that's all frosted. So we have our strips that we put on earlier. If you look, you can see how it would have gotten on the plate. But now that we have the strips, we'll pull them off one by one. Best to go clockwise and back underneath what you're working on. So again, clockwise and underneath, and you get a really sharp, crisp edge. So the best part, decorating. So we're making this look like a banana split cake. So really it's just, we have Smarties here, we have sprinkles or hundreds and thousands, we have cherries and some lovely chocolate syrup. So we're gonna, I personally like to decorate it first and then pour the syrup all over everything. So we're just gonna put some Smarties all around, same way you would do with your sundae. I tend to just decorate the top and leave the sides the way they are. When you're making your frosting is when you can put big swoops in there. We put a nice little design in ours that we're now covering up. So next, the last thing you want to do is take your syrup and get it right around the edge. There we are. And then finish it off with your cherries. And that is your best side of your finished banana split cake.